next 35 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
But... Hey, that one actually posted this time. Good.
Woohoo.
Normally it does not. Should be good. Okay, and... There we go.
Excellent.
So I hear you guys like Herschel's Farm. Big fan of that season?
Uh-huh.
At least we got Maggie out of it.
Yes.
And Beth for what little time we had her. Not long enough.
Deserved better.
So did Herschel, really.
Honestly, that whole family.
Yeah.
They tried.
Also, the one dude whose name I don't remember that's not actually part of the family, but he was like the farmhand that literally saved Rick and Carl at the cost of his own life.
Right.
That drove the RV up to the burning barn.
Exactly.
Rip that dude.
Yeah, whoever the hell he was.
And also, was it Beth and Maggie's, it wasn't their mom, it was like their aunt?
Yeah, it was...
Or whatever. Like, she has the most, like, just, totally forgot about her death. We're, like running away, and she just gets pulled away from Beth and then eaten. It's just like, well, I guess she's gone now, bye. Can't remember what her relation was. I think it was aunt. It was not mother.
Like, it wasn't mom,
It wasn't mother. But it was, like, close-ish family. I think it was aunt. If not cousin, but I'm pretty sure aunt.
Something like that.
Because she was pretty older than Beth and then Maggie both. Anyway, The Walking Dead Season 2.
Alrighty.
So the first thing we need to do is figure out how to make sure the choices carry over, which I'm curious about, because my choices is locked. Can you click on that at all? No. Okay, then go to Save Files. I'm assuming this will be empty. Yes. If I remember correctly from playing the original game, once you start, it will give you the option to import the file, is my guess. If it's not, we'll figure out how to go from there. But I believe once you hit play, it'll be like, yeah, do you want to load your files from Season 1? Yeah, like this.
Loading save file. It already just does that. Okay,
Good. Change the save file to make sure that it is yours and not mine.
I don't think that is. Oh, well.
Save file 2 should be yours.
It says it's all empty, but...
Well, maybe not then. Did it say all 3 of them were empty?
Yeah, it says that all 3 of them are empty. Empty.
Go back again, just to make sure. No, like, farther back, like, past the save files. I'm assuming that just kicks you out here. That's just going to take you back to the main menu, so it's not that. I think this is save files for Season 2 rather than 1.
Yeah, I think I agree.
I doubt it's under help and options, but you could check.
Credits, graphics, gameplay.
Maybe if it's anywhere, it's going to be gameplay, but I don't think it would be there. It would be more like that. Yeah. That was like, do you want it to show the little dots so that you can click on as opposed to not? So, apply because you didn't change anything, I guess. Interesting.
Well,
I guess go ahead and play, and if it lets you choose which file, go ahead and pick file 2. Maybe it's just showing as empty, even if it's not actually. Because file 2 was the one that you used, so.
Yeah. Okay. So quick recap. We are on Season 2 of The Walking Dead Telltale series. This is a not blind playthrough for a certain extent. I have played Seasons 1, 2, and 3, but I have not played any of the DLC. Or I started playing the DLC.
Yeah, you did
last,
play the... Yep. We have played 400 Days DLC.
But I've not played the Michonne stuff, and I've not played Season 4. Delta here is mostly going to let me kind of do whatever, unless there's a decision where, like, the wording isn't clear. So, like, in Season 3, whenever you're like, do we stand up to... do we as Javier stand up to his brother, or do we let him keep yelling at his wife? And then he turns around and he's like, your wife was about to leave you. And I'm like, wait, no, that's not what I wanted. So Delta is here to point out those situations and help me with puzzles if I get stuck, which is unfortunately frequently.
Yeah, there's one thing I could think of in season 2 as well. It will be, if you remember, whenever you have to go and get like all the stuff to fix up your arm, there's an option in which you can steal a watch, and there's literally no reason not to do it, because later on, after you're forced to abandon that cottage or whatever, Nick's like, shit, I left my watch there, that belonged to somebody else that I really cared about. And if you don't steal the watch, then you can't give it to him, because it's not he forgot it because it wasn't there. He just forgot it. So stealing it, while you might think initially like, oh, this could affect you negatively because maybe they'll try to search you at some point and they'll realize like, hey, you stole our shit. It does nothing but good. So if there's one that it's like, it's literally no reason not to, and it just affects like some extra lines of dialogue, because that's all that really does, then I'll probably mention those.
He also comes in with, whenever there's like big decisions about saving a person versus leaving a person, etc., he'll come in with some different viewpoints and options on that as well.
Yeah. Think the what would have happened if. So what would have happened if you saved Doug rather than Carly, that kind of thing. Admittedly, I'm not as well versed in season 2 for that as I am 1, because I both played it less and watched it less.
Shocking.
Yeah. Season 2 is not as good. And I'll go over the reasons why for that as we're getting into this. The last thing to note is, as we finish each episode, I'll be ending the stream and then immediately starting it back up. We will let you know if we are done for the night, as it is a lot easier to upload the individual chapters to YouTube. If you want to watch any of Season 1, including the DLC, it has all been uploaded to the archive page, and you can view that down below. If for whatever reasons our choices don't carry over, then we'll talk a little bit about it if it actually matters, but... for now, let's go and start.
Alright.
Oh, here it is. Okay. That was weird that it wanted you to do it later.
I guess this kind of makes sense.
Season 2 of The Walking Dead builds off of Season 1's choices and consequences. The game will now automatically search your system for a Season 1 save file with completed episodes. Oh, look, there's Ben. You dropped him.
Yeah.
Season 1 save file is found. You will now need to choose a save slot from Season 1 to continue your story. Choices will be randomly generated for any unfinished episodes. Which I personally, I get why. I think it might have been better, and it will be Game 2, yeah. I think it might have been better to go with what the majority picked rather than just straight up random. Or at least toggle the option for it.
What's your name?
I'm Clementine.
It's gonna recap the whole season, alright.
All by yourself.
Well, this is all from the first episode here.
I know who you are.
That's also from episode 1, very end of it.
It's how the world works.
There's episode 2 a little bit.
Lee, are those bad people dead?
Oh,
I hope you know what you're doing with her.
That's from 3, yeah.
I got
So they actually are showing at least a little bit of
Mommy said
each.
Crawford is the only
Yep,
place
there's
left
Crawford.
with
Oh, there's
survivors
Molly.
as people.
Yeah.
Yay!
That means it must
Molly's
be where
the
my
new
mom
Bruno.
and Dad are.
Clementine, I think it'd be safer for you to stay here with Omid. Clementine? Clementine!
I do kind of like, though, that it confirms that your choices did actually import correctly.
That's true, yeah.
I know how to be.
I kind of wish, as horrible as it is to watch Carly or Doug get shot, you could have that too, to be like, yeah, it was definitely Doug that got shot, it was definitely Carly.
Lee,
Yeah, he's missing the
I
arm
saw my
there.
parents.
Come here, sweet pea. You have
Get
to
some blood on that ear.
Lee,
Get some ear blood.
no.
We love your blood.
Yep. As somebody who's had his eardrum burst a couple times as a kid, I can,
Ouch.
yeah, not fun, especially when you're in the emergency room on July 4th.
Ugh. What'd you do?
I liked swimming a lot as a kid, and I got really bad ear infections. Always in the right ear, though. Never the left. And I think as I stopped swimming, because I didn't want to pay to go to a pool, and we didn't have a pool anymore, they stopped happening. It might have stopped happening with age, because apparently that's something that can happen too with ear infections, but who's to say? Every time that I have gone swimming since, I haven't got one, but it's less frequent, so...
There you go. Progress, I guess.
Man, I just remember this opening section, and now I'm pissed off because of how it ends. Ugh!
Now I'm mad.
Yeah. All That Remains. That is a very good band. If you're into metal, I recommend looking them up.
It's
And
also
for
a
once,
great
I'm not
band.
making a joke. That actually is a band, All That Remains.
Omid, you can't be
My mom got me into them. That was actually the first metal band I got
We
into.
are not doing
Nice.
that.
Why not?
Because.
So it is clear from the flash forward here, because if you remember at the very end of season 5, Lee obviously is dead. You either leave him behind or Clementine shoots him. And
Clementine, a little help.
while you can pick different things, also you're about to click an answer
No.
rather than eating ice cream.
Junior.
What if it's a girl?
I would love to
Then
eat
we
ice
name her
cream.
Name her Krista.
But I'm
Omid,
Christa.
what the fuck?
I don't want to call her Krista.
Regardless of whether you say stay alone, find Omid and Krista, or find a group,
How can you not
the
care?
2 silhouettes that you see at the end of the first season, yes, are confirmed to be
You're
Omid
not
and
taking
Krista.
this seriously.
I take
So she
everything
did in fact find him,
especially
or they
when
found
it's
her,
future.
and
Keep talking.
they've been
You're
traveling
sleeping
for
in
an
the ring
indeterminate
tonight.
amount of time. Enough where Krista is obviously showing
Remember
more.
that time in Barstow?
I mean, she's probably at least 6 months,
Vegas
7
weekend.
months.
Yeah, because she doesn't really show physically, other than the vomiting, but like the bump isn't there in season 1.
Oh yeah.
Get cleaned up in the girls' room, Clem.
I hope the sink works in there.
I wouldn't
Me
count on
too,
it.
bud.
Just be careful and make sure
That would be
it's not
nice,
the
but
same
yeah, probably not gonna
next
happen.
door.
Yep.
Okay.
There's gonna be something in here. Ignore.
Hello?
Do I have a weapon?
You do, but you cannot. Well, I think you draw it when you check the stalls. So the menu has changed slightly rather than just clicking on it. Whenever you like go over to one of the things, it's got the little circle. And so the circle always default to an option if it's the only option, but I think otherwise you may have to go like up, down, left, right slightly. If you're playing with controller, the buttons on your controller, A, B, X, Y, the colors will match the action you're performing.
What's that?
You will come to find there's not a lot of times where that will matter because most things are single action, talking, interacting with, like opening doors, etc. So usually it's not going to matter.
Oh, gross. Good. No one's here.
The only thing worse than somebody exploding in a toilet in a public bathroom is somebody who exploded in a public toilet in a bathroom and it has been there for literal years.
Why do I feel like I'm not safe in here?
Because nowhere is safe.
Squint. I'm going to stare at myself intensely in the, look at the faucet. Look!
Please have water.
Now you can test it. What a surprise, didn't work.
Shocking.
Figures.
Not that we would have wanted to use that water anyways, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely not. So for the record, even though it is not, I believe... No, I think it actually is mentioned, but we'll go ahead and mention it now because it's not that big of a deal for spoilers. Clementine is basically 11 at this point. Not 11 the character, 11 as in 11 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I think she mentions that with a character in episode 3 where they ask how old she is and she says 11 and they're like, I would have thought older than that.
I want my gun, please.
Yeah, that would be the smart thing to do, but nope.
Oh, I thought that was...
Yeah, I think it's the far one. I think it's the other far one.
Of course. Even though I already checked the far one.
Well, that's because that's where the water bottle rolled, was under the door of the far one. Or it like rolls at an angle so it ends up there.
Yeah, but someone's gonna jump out at me.
You.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's pretty ew. On a scale of 1 to 10 for ew, even in a zombie apocalypse, that's like a solid 6 or 7.
That's an 8 or 9. I don't want to.
Well, it's her shoes touching it, and it's not like it's her bare feet. It's still gross,
Yeah.
but...
She's gotta have her hand on the wall, though.
Yeah, I gotta brace for balance. Which is fair, because the alternative is potentially slipping and falling into the toilet. And that would absolutely be a
also-
10.
My soul would
That'd be
leave
a
my
10.
body.
Yeah, that'd be pretty nasty. Not only would you get caught, but then you got poop feet.
Strike me dead on the spot. Hi.
I see you.
I see you too.
Get out of there. You're not fooling me.
Who are you?
None of your business.
That's
Are
a pretty
you
long
gonna
name.
hurt me?
Only if you're stupid.
Quite rude. 0 out of 10.
Get out here.
Well, you were stupid enough to leave your gun there, so...
I mean, yeah.
got anything on you?
Your mom.
Come on, let's see.
No, that's all I have.
That's it? How'd you make it this long?
Your mom.
I'm serious. What else you got?
That's it.
Don't lie to me. I'll pop you. Give me what you got.
Okay.
I'm not screwing around. Come on.
I don't have anything.
Give me that hat.
No.
Bro.
Where'd you get it?
Why do you care?
Dad gave it to me.
My
I
dad
killed
gave it to
someone
me.
for it. I totally would believe that, Clementine.
Just give it to me.
No.
It's
What's
like,
wrong
yeah,
with you?
it's like she always says that no matter what. It's like, so why do you care where I got it if you're just gonna, well, just give it to me?
That's
Look at all this
very
junk.
rude of you, man.
Shit, and more shit. Why you ain't got nothing good?
Because you're
Like the last people I got.
disrespectful.
They had all kinds of good shit.
I mean,
That
no.
was a good catch.
No. No.
You ain't got nothing good.
No.
You just a little fish. You gonna cry,
No.
little fish?
Omid.
This your daddy? What a bozo.
Hey, guess what?
Yeah.
You're a moron.
Yeah.
Just for the record.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you, man? Hey, buddy. Uh-oh.
I didn't mean to.
Bro,
What's it-
you were waving that gun around.
I didn't mean
And you just dropped the gun?
And now she got shot and died,
Yeah.
which was very deserved.
And now we're about to have 2 zombies in here. Just for the record.
But it's fine. It's fine.
I love getting knocked on.
Homie, can you hear me? Homie.
Krista, I'm gonna take a wild fucking guess. I think he's dead.
I mean, he might be able to hear you. It's just he's gonna die from blood loss. Depending on where you. I mean, maybe he got shot directly in the heart, but it looked more like the center of the chest. So.
It can be hard to tell.
So yeah, people were not happy, unsurprisingly, when that happened.
So for the record, don't split the party. Don't do it.
Also,
I don't care if you're going tinkle.
well, no, it's double stupid. Do you know what they were actually doing?
Whoa.
Don't think too hard.
Oh god.
Yeah. It's like, it's not something people actively look for, but like Krista's giving him very clear bedroom eyes as they're walking into the bathroom on their side.
Disgusting.
So, yeah.
Talk to me.
So this is later. 16 months later. She's no longer pregnant, and she does not have a baby, so
Yep.
let's do the math here at home.
This will never work. Look at this. It's pathetic. The wood's too wet to burn. There's more smoke than flame.
It's okay. I can wait.
All we do is wait. And for what? You should be doing this, not me. Tending a fire so you can cook and stay warm.
Also, yes, I did spill another drink. I don't want to hear it. That's the third one today, man.
We're doing great. This is fine.
No, it is literally just me.
Yeah.
God.
I said we so you wouldn't feel as isolated.
I pressed one of those pieces of ice managed to get underneath your chair from there,
We've
though.
been on our own for too long.
That was truly
Trust?
truly
You can trust
impressive.
someone out here? Not now. Not anymore.
Hashtag traumatized.
So since it was never confirmed outright in the game, but it was by one of the creators of this, yes, she did miscarry the baby.
Still have a couple hard
If you wanted the specifics, so it's not like got eaten because it made too much noise or anything. It was a miscarriage.
then
That got confirmed, I believe, at the end of season by a tweet. I think at the end of season 3, but it might have been season 4.
Right?
The problem is that brings too many questions about
I don't know.
how people are infected and at what point
I know it will.
they can
We'll
turn.
see.
Yeah.
We just need to keep moving north.
Can we get zombie babies?
I think we can. Don't we?
Oh, we don't ever with this group. That we know of. Maybe it happened with her kid.
I'm gonna go.
Which also leaves the potential to be
Just keep the
alien
fire.
chest bursted, eaten from the inside out
Yeah,
by
I
your
was gonna
child.
say, pull a Twilight with Rosalinda. Rosemary.
Rosebud?
Rosebud. I've definitely seen the Twilight franchise.
I watched the cinema therapy for it where they just bashed on it the whole time. That was kind of fun.
There you go.
So, yeah. Find the lighter to reignite the fire. This is one I will actually give you the answer for because there's different things you can burn.
Oh, she has the picture.
Yeah. And that is one of the things you can burn, which, of course, don't.
Absolutely not.
There is a piece of wood that you can burn. You do not have to burn the drawing of Kenny and his family. You do not have to burn the picture of Lee. That was just... It's trying to go for the symbolic thing of, like, she's burning the past, like, letting it go type of thing, but, like, you don't actually have to do that, so...
But also that hurts my feelings and I refuse to do it.
And as a side note, since we have played this before, there will be spoilers for seasons 1, 2, 3. And as we know, Kenny's family might be gone, but he is not, so... Yeah, there's a giant log that's kind of near the fire that you can pick up and use.
That one. That's a slightly different color than the background. Is it?
It may not be that one specifically, I don't know. They might have taken that out for all I know. Maybe you have to burn one of those two things.
I want to press tab so I can...
This ain't no Danganronpa.
I know, right? I don't see anything that I can click on, like... Because it would have that little circle, right?
Try looking at the campsite first.
Look.
You may have to do that to initiate. She might say, like, oh, this needs something else to burn effectively. Oh, right, 'cause she's got this piece. Also new is they've got these weird commands where basically you have to hold something down and then drag it over. So you, like, hold the mouse button down and then drag it to the piece of paper or whatever it is.
Oh, I love that.
They did that a little bit in the DLC for Season 1, which, remember, came out around the same time the first episode of this did. Mm-hmm. So...
Better, but still not enough.
So now you should be able to
Flames are
erect
too
a piece of
low.
wood. So yeah, I'm assuming in the original, like the very beginning that you played, that Omid got shot, she was 10. I'm going to assume with the time skip now is when she hits 11, roughly.
Oh, okay.
I think it will give you the option, like it'll pull up a menu of like, do you want to burn the picture, do you want to burn the drawing, do you want to burn the log once you click on it. You have to click below it, remember? The toggleable, like if you go in that circle, there's an option above the circle with your mouse. Where you like look, and then there's another one that's below. And that's how you...
Get the other
Flames
one
are
to...
high enough.
The HUD on this is kind of weird. It takes some getting used to. There's a reason they changed it back for later seasons. Like, it doesn't matter...
I was just too close to the fire.
Yeah.
I couldn't drag my mouse down far enough.
And it doesn't matter what you have selected on the left. That's just showing you the objects you have.
Oh.
Like, it's going to give you the option right here. Like, like this. And again, if you have the log, why the fuck would you burn mementos?
Right?
It's one thing if you, like, have no option, and this is literally like, it's either this or I die, but it's not, so...
I got a bad feeling.
Yeah. As a side note, since we already have our first character dead within the first 5 minutes, which fucking sucks, we'll be going over what we think of each of the characters as they die or leave the party. So
at the end of each episode.
Yep. Just for the characters that did die or leave the party. So, just so you are aware.
Don't fucking lie to
I think part of the reason it also pisses me off is we didn't get to see a lot of Omid in part 4 of Season 1 because, you know, he was injured and resting. So we really only got, like, about the equivalent of one full episode with him, because he was only in the second half of 3 and a little bit of 5, and barely in 4 at all.
What the fuck?
Nice throw.
Run!
Hey!
Now time for some action. I think these require like moving the mouse in certain directions, so when it gives you arrows, you just drag the mouse in whatever direction it tells you.
Okay.
Come out here, girl. I'm not fucking around.
Oh, no, they do change it, yeah, so you just move and click. That might be the Xbox PlayStation. No, they do have the arrows, okay.
Okay.
So it is just movement, I assume? Left, right, up, down with the arrows. Swipe left to stab.
Jesus, are you
Yeah,
fucking
there's like
kidding me?
there's some clicks, there's some left and right and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Leave me alone!
Fucking running. Squirming.
I
Bites
don't know
his
what I'm supposed to
fingers.
be doing here.
You are on my last fucking nerve. Stop fucking kicking.
Q. Yeah, the Q and E does stay the same, thankfully. And then swipe.
Jesus.
Man, when they come out of the woodwork, they really do just like straight come out of the woodwork. It goes from like no zombies to every zombie in a 3-mile radius.
Dude, just jump through the river at this point.
Doesn't matter who you throw it at. Whee!
See, if you jumped, at least you'd had a better idea of.
Yeah, you'd be less likely to hit your head on a rock.
Yeah.
Don't need to pull some British Terabithia shit in here. Which was tragically also based on a real life story.
Really?
Yeah, except in this case, instead of the girl hitting her head on a rock, she was struck by lightning.
What?
Yeah. It was the author's son had like a best friend around Leslie's age, him being Jesse's, that was struck by lightning when she was like 10 or 11 years old and died.
You know what we should do? We should profit off of that.
Actually, it was her son's idea to write the story in tribute to her. So,
Interesting.
so it goes from being really dickish to really heartwarming, I guess, / tear-jerking.
Processing the trauma? Question mark.
Yeah.
Love it.
And I feel like, you know, because it wasn't even like, oh, should I do this? I should ask my son. It was literally just straight up his idea of like, hey, you should write a book about this. So I feel like at that point you kind of have the blessing to do it.
Yeah, I guess.
And I assume her parents were probably okay with it. Otherwise there would have been some sort of controversy. They would have said something.
I mean,
so.
yeah. Also, shout out to that dude for, like, he was definitely trying to attack me and potentially kidnap me, but, like, he wasn't willing to let me get bit by a zombie, so respect.
Yeah, it's true.
Semi-respect? 2% respect? Question mark?
2% cow's milk.
I assume that that means that we can't use the, There's gonna be a puzzle here, isn't there?
Very, very basic one. In a little bit, yeah, but not much.
Oh.
Good upper body strength there.
Good upper body strength and impressive vertical, damn.
Considering, you know, malnourished, dehydrated.
Probably freezing to death.
Probably also
stopping
covered
dead.
in bug bites to some extent living out here.
God,
You there?
right?
It's easy to forget that if you've, like, played this for a continued period of time, but...
I'm
Almost.
very certain that that's a dead walker. Oh, it's the signpost on its head. Never mind.
Yeah.
My bad. Can I
There's-
take the sign?
No, there's some, like, stuff here you can, like, basically look at, and Clementine might have, like, a line of dialogue, but there's nothing you can take physically.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. The most distressing thing about this series is that they don't have a solid weapon in their hands at all times.
Even just, like, I mean, because we just saw it work, even just, like, a sharp tree branch is still better than nothing because it gives you more reach.
Right?
Even if it's just enough to whack somebody over the head to get away with, that's still better than nothing.
Exactly.
And let's be honest, almost everything, at least everything you'd find out in the woods, can do enough damage if you swing it hard enough.
I would get some kind of, like, tire iron or crowbar and just use it constantly.
Yeah, any of these, like, just take the sign off of these metal posts and just use that, because those really aren't that heavy, and probably by this point, they've been made with, like, one of those little digger things that I can't remember what they're called. Post diggers. But they're probably not that far into the ground, so they're going to be pretty easy to pull out. If it's been raining, it's going to be easy to pull out, because the ground is loose.
around. That's a lot of trees, bro.
Yep, that is what a forest is.
See, and I can't decide if this would be a really great place to be. Oh shit, that's away from walkers, or like a really terrible place that's a way to be for walkers. You know what I'm saying?
Little bit of both. I think
Because
ultimately
like,
you
there's
want
so
to.
much background noise automatically.
Yeah. I think you need to set something up to where, like, on all sides, if a walker or person trips within a certain radius, you can hear it, so you know, like, hey, there's something coming from this direction.
It's okay, boy. It's okay.
Also a dog. Bork.
I'm gonna get bit.
Hey,
I was about to say,
don't
if you see a stray dog, do not pet it.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Just
really
for the
don't.
record. Or just any dog you don't know that doesn't know you. Just don't.
Right?
What's he doing?
He's going to lead me directly into a trap, and I'm going to
Hey,
follow him.
what'd you find, boy? Where are you going? Wait up.
He's gonna take you to the Resident Evil zombie dogs. If only you had a shotgun. It's the best way I've always found to deal with them in the Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6.
Or literally anything. Like, genuinely any kind of weapon.
Even a rock is just something.
Hello?
Hello!
Love that. Ow!
It looks pretty run over, but you never know.
Is that
Let's look around
her
for some food.
stomach
Yeah.
rumbling? Okay.
She hungry. Because she was going to eat that thing that they were cooking and then they got ambushed.
Questionable meat.
I hope you didn't ever want to see Christa for the rest of the season, by the way, because you will not meet up with her at any point. She is,
Oh.
Looks
She
like
is
it's been
MIA.
here for a while.
Oh. Well,
look at this
Looks
graph!
like they were a happy family once. I
once.
hope they left some food behind somewhere.
I think the only thing you can find that you can, like, sort of do is there's a frisbee / flying disc somewhere you can play fetch with the dog a couple times.
Nothing edible.
Oh! Was that Disco Broccoli just then?
I think so.
Yeah. There's a couple references to him in the final season. He's basically like a... I guess it's sort of their version of VeggieTales, except not really. Like, less
Hey, wanna play?
Christian-oriented
Wanna
and
play
more,
catch?
like, slightly older audience. Not adult, but, like, Clementine's age now, maybe a little bit younger.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll get back.
And there's collectibles you can pick up throughout the game, and some of those Nerf figurines of, like, Disco Broccoli and the other characters from that TV
Good
show.
boy. Good boy.
At some point, you'll tragically eventually lose the frisbee.
You wanna go again?
Lame. I will still throw it for the Doge. Very good, Doge.
I bet you miss this. I sure do.
Yeah, it'd be nice to go and throw the frisbee around. Unfortunately, we live in a place where that's very hard to do due to high
Go
winds.
get it, boy.
Yep.
In order to throw it at somebody, you have to throw it 90 degrees to the left or right of where they're standing.
It was good while it lasted, though,
You can
right?
throw it exactly twice.
Yeah, you're right.
Or depending on if you're up or downwind, it will take no effort at all or an extreme amount of effort to get it halfway.
I've also seen situations where somebody threw it and it ricocheted off of something and whacked them in the face.
Better keep looking, boy.
It's like that scene from Monster House when Chowder throws the ball at the basketball goal and it just bounces off and hits him in the face.
Mm-hmm.
It's not much of a tent anymore. I bet scavengers...
That is definitely on my list of movies that will never fail to make me laugh. Because you always find something new every time you watch it.
Look at the barbecue. The other weird thing is that it won't let you click on things whenever
Hey,
you're walking
boy,
around.
what's the matter?
Yeah. Usually what happens is if you click and then just like don't hold any buttons, don't hold any directions or whatever, she'll just automatically move until she gets close enough to interact with whatever you clicked on.
Oh, awkward. Well,
It's okay. He's dead.
Well,
dead.
undead,
Look,
yeah.
You can see the bite. Looks like he tried to cut it out,
Sorry, dude.
but that never works. Ever.
I mean, yes and no.
Well, she hasn't met Reggie yet, so she doesn't know anybody that it's worked for.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
We're smart. He's not.
Plus, like I'll state, half the time it's not going to be so much the issue of did the infection stop or not, it's going to be the blood loss that's going to be the problem. I believe there is a tree branch at your feet that you're supposed to use to kill it before you try to grab for that knife.
He can't hurt us.
Or screwdriver. I think it's a knife, pretty sure.
Calm down, dog.
Think he had himself tied up? Or did someone force him to do this?
I'm going to assume, based on how he's tied up, probably the latter.
Stand back, okay?
It would be really hard to tie yourself up like that.
Yeah, that's the reason why.
Double tap.
More like quadruple in this case. As somebody who's done a lot of writing, you can see the obvious symbolism here. This is, in this specific instance, this is her equivalent to Lee killing her babysitter Sandra, the first zombie that he killed. Mm-hmm. And this is the first one she's killing in this season, taking multiple hits to the head with something. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But on the bright side, at least we're gonna knife. Delicious.
What do you have? A knife!
No!
I think my favorite thing about that video is the top comment, which is, manager, what do you have? Employee, a life! Manager, no!
Thank you. Appreciate that. I will hopefully not use this to cut anything I plan on eating.
Still pretty sharp. At least we found something.
Yeah, about that.
We won't go another night without food, okay?
Why are you promising shit like that?
Yeah, first of all, dog can't understand you. Second of all, you should not make promises you can't deliver.
Yeah, I want to search the pocket. I want to search the pocket.
Nope.
What?
She won't realize to do that until she meets a character much later in this season, remember?
Well, there was an option to search the pocket like a second ago.
You probably wouldn't have found anything if that's the case.
Probably not, no.
It usually doesn't screw you out of stuff like that unless it's like an event of like, oh, walkers are closing in, we have to leave this area type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Dig through the trash. Girls.
And pull out your hand to find that you've got a needle stuck in it
Here
from
we
somebody
go.
shooting up. I will say, most of the saw traps don't get me, but that fucking needle pit, dude. Ugh.
That was bad.
That was really bad. Even I'm like,
Man,
I also watched,
let's see what's
yesterday
inside.
I watched From the Book of Saw, the newer one.
Yeah, how is it?
It was... it wasn't bad, but it wasn't a good Saw movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, all of the traps were
Please don't
meant
be
to kill the
bad.
person, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like,
no real chance of survival type
and,
thing.
like, wasn't that the whole point of... Does it
Yeah.
matter which one I...
You have to do all three, so no.
Okay, I was like, I don't want to accidentally stab myself.
Yep, does not matter what order. You gotta do all three. Because, yeah, in the first ones where it actually was John Kramer, it was like the idea of if somebody's got the willpower to live, they can live.
Well, and redemption and stuff.
Yeah, but even as early as Amanda being his apprentice in Saw, I think 3, that, like, because she puts that officer whose name I can't remember in the Angel one, where it, like, it's, breaks apart her ribs. She's supposed to, like, get that key out of the acid,
I guess you're
and she
too
actually
angry
does
too.
do it, but it's an inescapable trap. So it happens pretty early in the series, tragically. Also be prepared for some quick times here. Shortly.
Here you go. Hey, don't eat it all.
Hey, disrespectful.
Just keep punching. Alright, you're good.
That's very disrespectful. I feel betrayed. I don't want to stab the dog. Please don't make me stab the dog.
You don't have to. It is that decision up to you. But for the record, even without a dog being wild, that is a very, very common thing. A lot of parents have to teach their kids, even if it is for whatever reason, taking food away from a dog.
No,
yeah.
the dog got stabbed anyways.
Yep. So now you have to decide whether you want to kill or not because it's a mercy kill.
Damn it. Distressing.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, they make it slow too, which is the worst part.
First of all, the fucker shouldn't have bit me. That's my opinion.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's just like dog instinct. Wild or not, whenever dogs have their food taken away, this is very common for even domesticated dogs to do, let alone ones that are, even if not wild, definitely is the only survivor of this campground and has not eaten in a decent amount of time. But that's why you have to teach people, like, yeah, don't take dogs' food away from them, even if it's for good reason, because they do get aggressive when you do stuff like that. It's just in their instinct to do so.
Yeah.
Now, would Clementine have known that? Probably not, since she started the apocalypse and knowledge like that would have gone out the window. And she started in the apocalypse when she was 8.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as we know, they never owned any pets.
I
So,
don't think so, yeah.
I don't think they ever mentioned if... Maybe they did? I don't think they did, though. I think she mentions, like, a class hamster or something like that, but not a dog. So there's probably no way she could have known that was going to happen.
Right.
So.
I feel like the other thing that they should have utilized in this post-apocalyptic experience is learning how to make sleeping arrangements up in trees where walkers can't sneak up on you and get you.
Yeah. See, that's why I think as much as I don't like one of the later seasons of Total Drama, there's one guy that's like paranoid by zombies. I think you actually would like him because he is genuinely really smart when it comes to that. Because he literally taught himself not only how to be able to sleep with his eyes open and in trees, he learned how to jump from tree to tree. Because he's like, zombies can't climb trees and there's no way they can jump from one tree to another.
That's fair.
It's like, yeah, there's probably no way unless you're getting like the extreme zombies.
You gotta do like
The ones that can like run and
shit.
seem to have like proper intelligence to them and whatnot.
You gotta do like Katniss in the Hunger Games. Bro.
See what I mean? When they just like show up out of the woodwork like this, it's not like it's just one on occasion. It's either 0 or like 50.
Right?
Run!
How am I supposed to run?
You just hold forward. You're not meant to get out of this air quote, but you will have to mash Q once it knocks you over. You're about to get saved is what's going to happen.
Murder. I mean, not murder.
I was going to say, I don't think a zombie counts, actually.
No, it doesn't. I just like saying murder. Get him.
I'd ask that question in chat, but I'm pretty sure everybody's going to back me up on that. If killing a zombie would not be murder.
Let's go.
Come on,
Yeah.
kid. We gotta get.
Especially not if you're doing, I mean, not like a proper in cold blood murder. If you're doing it to save somebody else's life, then it's definitely not.
Well, especially with this kind of zombie, like, I would definitely agree. Oh God, what was that movie that I watched? I watched a zombie movie a while back. I think it was called The Cured. And it was about a different kind of zombieism where they're not dead or undead.
They're somewhere in between.
But no, they're psychotic.
I think we're safe.
They're completely psychotic.
Yes, they have the different type of infection, yeah.
And
yeah.
so they wind up, like, they are
Yeah.
able to be
Yeah, we're
cured and go back to being normal humans. Normal.
Hey, you all
Yeah.
right?
I mean, they remember everything that happens while they were zombies.
Yeah.
So they're...
There's one that's kind of similar to that, and I can't remember the name of it, but it has the actor for Glenn in The Walking Dead. He's the main
Last
character
time
in
I
it.
saw you could barely crawl.
And if you haven't seen that one, it's actually pretty good. I think you'd like that one, where they basically get, like, something is in the water/air their office building, and it basically acts like a mixture of rage and adrenaline. But they're also a law firm, and he
What are you
managed
doing
to
out
get
here?
somebody off of all their charges where they killed somebody by claiming that they had that inside of them, and so they weren't under control of what they were doing.
We're doing anything but trying to help you.
My friend and I got attacked.
And it's pretty good from what I remember. I just can't remember the name
What
of
they were
it.
after?
Yeah.
They might have just.
But in
come
situations like that, I think it's
some sort of weasel.
I think
They
that
attacked you
one
for a
would be
reason.
like self-defense, but still murder. But this is like they're already dead.
Yeah.
You weren't searching for anybody?
They're more animal than human at that point.
Well,
Yeah.
Conventional animal, anyway.
this is Pete.
Hey there.
Oh, so hi, Pete.
Hi, Pete.
I really like you. I hope you won't die early.
It's nice to meet you, Clementine.
Looks directly
For now.
into the camera.
We're going to our group.
I do like him. When I did rewatch the season, I was like, I forgot how fucking amazing Pete
What
was.
is it?
She's been bit, man. Fuck.
I did not get bit. I just got
What are we gonna do
yeeted.
here?
No.
Well, I
it was a
did get
dog.
bit, but by a
See any
dog.
dog, Clementine?
This is gonna get me to one of the point. This is gonna get me to one of the points in a second that I really get annoyed by in this game,
Please.
and it's by a character that I want to like, but I don't.
I nag.
Like,
Why am I
the first time
wrong?
I played, he was one of my favorites, and then the more and more I rewatched it, I'm like, yeah, he kind of is a piece of shit, actually. I think his character gets weaker and weaker as time goes on.
All right.
I also understand the hesitation to go in and get close to someone that has a bite, but like it takes time for the bite to go into effect,
Yeah.
and like they, in every circumstance that it's shown, they have actually died before.
See?
Yeah. And, like, she's still talking to them. Like, it's not like
Yeah.
she's passed out and going
Well,
pale.
could be a dog. Hard to say.
Like they look like
Where'd this
absolute
dog
garbage
go?
before they turn.
Yeah.
The one that did this.
What-
And both
what does that
Clementine
matter?
and these
Seriously.
survivors would know that as well.
I killed it.
What? Really? A dog shows up and bites you and you just kill it?
What else am I supposed to do?
I don't know.
It attacked me.
Still, you don't kill dogs.
I'm sorry, man.
You can totally see where he's coming from with that, though, because it's like, you don't kill the house pet, and it's like, yeah, well, it was more of a mercy kill in that specific
telling us the
situation,
truth.
but
Yes.
Yes.
All right, Clementine.
Pete will remember that. All of them were
What
in
else
the
was she gonna
affirmative.
other than silence, I guess.
Other than silence.
That's why you can never beat me at poker.
You don't always beat me at it. Alright, how can you
Pete does strike me as the
Well,
type
I'm
of guy
sure
that
we'll
wins,
believe
like,
what
almost
girl
every
wants
hand
to
just
die.
because he
We need
knows when
doctor
people are giving him
to make
shit.
a call. We can have Carlos
He also
take a
makes
look
a good point. Like, y'all have a doctor that can look and make that
Ain't gonna like this.
determination.
Yeah.
Not with what
You
happened.
You
have
don't have
time,
to remind me
obviously.
of that point.
And as we all know, when it comes to The Walking Dead, if somebody's got a really good head on their shoulders, they're not going to last very long.
Yep. Usually dying of a
Come on.
bullshit reason.
Much like Herschel, they'll end up with a head not on their shoulders.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Clementine, are you feeling all right?
I
I'm
am
fine.
not.
Just tired.
Well, you better be fine. Because I ain't carrying you anymore with that bite on your arm.
That's fair.
Don't worry about.
Well, it was nice knowing you.
Oh,
Sorry,
Good
buddy.
night. I'm gonna take a nap. I'm gonna take a nap right here. Good night. We gotta go.
Where did they come from? Where did they go?
Where come from, Prado? Who's Carver?
Then she was bitten by a dog.
What? And you just believed her? You should have
I
put
need
her
a
out of her
doctor.
misery right
You ain't
there.
even going to get
I
that
feel
far.
like Run is a bad
I need
option.
a doctor.
Keep your finger off the trigger, boy.
You dumbass.
Good first impression there, Nick. Appreciate it.
5 miles probably heard
You're the one
that.
telling me to fucking shoot her.
Everybody just calm down for a second.
Clementine, you okay?
I just need a doctor. And then I'll go. I don't want my arm to get infected.
None of us want to get infected. That's the point.
Look, you
We got a doctor
dumbass.
right here. Okay, he'll have a look. Now what the hell is wrong with you people? Okay, she's just scared.
We're all scared, Luke. Don't act like we're
It's
the
like,
ones
if you
being
think somebody's
ratchet.
waking up
Everybody's
potentially as a
bullshit.
walker, just back up and point the gun at them. Don't actually just immediately shoot before finding out.
If they're unconscious, tie them up.
Yeah, also that. Yeah, so here he is. This is the guy that I want to like, because he has moments where he, like, actually does show brilliance, and then there's moments like this.
Go ahead, he's a doctor.
So, clearly a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that must have hurt.
Okay.
Whatever it was, it got you good.
This isn't how we do things, man. When you're bit, you get put down.
You know what?
End
Your
of story.
mom is how you
I'm
do
not going through
things,
this.
okay?
No one suggested
And
that.
that's how we do your
Good
mom.
Well, to be fair, that's actually exactly what happens to his mom, is he has to kill his
I know
own
that
mother.
worked for a cousin.
Like, that happens before this, because she got bit.
It won't do any good.
So you can choose who to appeal
Worse for
to.
the girl.
It's crazy. No one's going to volunteer to
He's-
do that. I would. If it means saving her life.
Then what?
Sad eyes.
Puppy dog eyes.
That always works.
Carlos is just like,
Promise
whatever,
you,
man.
It was just a dog bite.
Carlos,
all it was.
remember the sad eyes.
Honestly, it does not matter who you appeal to. You'll get various levels of, like, okay, we'll help versus there's no way.
Sarah.
Pretty much the only one you can actually, like, truly turn more to your side is Alvin. That's about it. Because Alvin's kind of the neutral guy in this.
I don't mean to be any trouble. I just want to stop the bleeding and then I'll go. You'll never see me again. I promise.
Somehow,
And where
I know.
exactly would you go?
elsewhere.
Someplace else, yep.
To find help
Sure
somewhere
enough.
else if I can.
That's what Lee says whenever Clementine asks, like, where will we go in part 3 with the RV.
Treatment. We've got to be sure.
So, what do you think? Was it a lurker?
A bite like that could be anything.
Could
Only
be
one way to
anything.
find
So this is the problem, is when you think about the shape of a dog's mouth versus a human / walker's, the bite mark would look nothing similar. And a doctor of all people should be able to tell the difference between a dog bite and a human bite.
Gonna lock me
What
in the
about my
shed.
arm?
A normal person should be able to figure that
Wound
out.
and
Like,
stitched and bandaged.
they're just not the same bite.
Carlos in bad shape, Carlos.
So, like,
We have
it
all
kind
the
of
stuff
already
inside the cabin. We could
throws
probably
that
get by.
character under the bus.
But yeah.
I'm not
Alvin.
wasting supplies on a lurker.
Alvin's a great guy. He just, like, he does not have the loudest voice
For you in the morning.
in the group, and as a result, his opinion does not matter as much as others,
Yeah.
such as Rebecca, Nick,
It's the
Luke,
best we're gonna get.
everybody else, really.
Finger off the trigger, son.
I ain't your son. Don't be like that, man.
It's all right. Boy's got his mom's temper.
Come on.
I think they're uncle-nephew, for the record, Pete
Uh.
and Nick. I believe that's
This
the
is just a waste
relationship.
of time.
I look
You'll
forward
see.
to them kicking each
And
other's
when she
asses.
turns,
Oh, they do it all the time, yeah.
The shit.
It was a dog. You'll see.
I guess we'll find out in the morning.
Your mom's gonna
If I
find out
last
in the
that
morning.
long, maybe you could go look for it?
I wish I could. I really do, but it's too risky. Sorry.
I mean, y'all are a ways from that dog. Like, to be fair, that's a pretty significant.
I mean, the idea is you don't want to risk sending your people out there to find a potential dog, potential lie.
Well, and even if the dog was there, like that doesn't confirm that it's the one that bit her.
Yeah, exactly.
It could just be there.
Why are we doing this? So fucking dumb. Because it's safer this way, and I'd rather be sure.
Yeah, safer for who?
I can't believe this. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine.
Alright, now it is time to basically break out and steal the supplies you need to fix up your arm because they're not
Oh, yeah.
helpful.
Oh yeah.
So the first thing you're going to do in here is find a weapon. There is a weapon that you can obtain.
I also kind of like the outlines that are still on there. I see the weapon.
Yeah, I don't trust the barrels.
Do not thrust them.
not much left in here. I guess if I have to, I can use this for stitches.
Can I pull that over here?
No, you can't. You just needed it for the fishing line. That's how you break out. I don't think that works on it. You can try, but
Don't I need the hammer though?
you do need the hammer, yes.
I will accomplish that by staring at the life preserver.
I like how she shrugs at everything she can't interact with, just like, eh.
Oh, aha! That is not even remotely sturdy enough for me to climb on.
No, not even for a small child.
Absolutely not. This goes poorly.
There you go, you got it.
Yep.
Along with a mild concussion.
And landing on my injured arm.
And, yep, reopening the wound as well.
Yep. No sweat.
No sweat, much blood.
Yep. Shouldn't I pry the board with the hammer?
Yeah, as soon as you pick it up.
I didn't pick it. Where are you at? I thought I grabbed it and all of that.
Nope.
Okay.
This will be your makeshift crowbar to get out of here.
I gotta sneeze. Or not.
Cute.
Oh.
Well, at least you don't have to, like, do this under the duress of being attacked by a zombie.
Yeah, it's not urgent or anything. We're just gonna stand there.
Get a little kick.
I am not certain I'm gonna fit through that. By all accounts, I don't think I should. Yeah, see, I'm going right through it.
Yep. I mean, if you really had to, you'd probably just kick more of the shitty wall down. A little bit more of it to get out.
Right?
But not so much that they're like, oh, there's clearly a hole in the side of this shed.
Well, we just put the board back up.
Yeah, you could also do that. Find a way into the cabin and obtain a needle, peroxide, and some bandages.
Oh, that's good. That's not, I thought it was steps. So let's sneak in the front door.
Yep. They'll never suspect it.
Not a thing. Not a thing. It didn't let me in. So I guess not.
Locked slash probably deadbolted, barricaded, something.
Yeah.
Ow. I think it's getting worse.
Oh, really? What will give you that impression? I'm sorry, Clementine. I don't mean to you. Cannot reach.
Yep. This looks like a certain house in Payday 2 that you have to get through. It's kind of a pain in the ass on that mission.
Cannot move while clicking. You know what would work really well with that? The hammer. Just gonna.
It's almost like a hammer has a specific function for getting rid of nails as well as pounding the nails in. I'm glad it's Clementine and not me, because if there's one thing I know about the underside of houses like that, there's going to be a shitload of spiders down there. Every creepy crawler you can think of is down there.
In 5 minutes. It won't take long. There's a few things we need to discuss.
Hand, hammer, or pocket knife. I almost said pocket sand. Thinking King of the Hill here.
Oops. And I broke my pocket knife. Was that supposed to happen?
Yes, that is the only way to get in there. The hammer does not do anything. You have to break it in order to get inside.
Ah. We love that. Zombies can't, like, consciously crawl, right?
He doesn't need to be a part of it.
Like, they can't make the decision to crawl instead of walk.
I feel like they could in the sense of, like, if there's something they really want to get, there's a tiny hole that they can only get by crawling through, that they probably would fall to the ground and try to. Like, just by trying to, like, push on wherever they think is, you know,
Yes.
whatever they can see is for that, and so they may have to go lower than that and incidentally fall, air quote, / kneel, and that would kind of get them into a closer position to crawl, so maybe... Also, again, like last time, I'll let you know whenever you get sections like this of where it's like, yeah, you need to like press W carefully to sneak towards whatever. I'll let you know if you actually need to sneak, because most of the time you just go as fast as you want. Also, I believe it is one of the rooms up here that you can take that watch that I mentioned earlier.
Okay.
It'll be in an actual bedroom, though, and it'll be in like a desk drawer. Exactly one.
It's
Exactly.
clean.
It's clean, so let me put it in my pocket.
Yep.
I'll still need some bandages and something to keep it from getting infected.
Not gonna look in the bottom drawer. Okay.
No. I don't think anything you need. I don't think there's like multiple in the same room. I know where you get the stuff to clean it. I don't remember where you get the bandages offhand. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Time to hide. Which one will you hide in?
It's probably the wrong one.
It doesn't matter, actually.
Oh.
The same thing either way. Just the position which you read this. Or see it, I guess.
Damn it.
Also, I know they were having a house meeting, but, like, I figured there'd probably be a downstairs bathroom.
Right.
Also, they have running water.
Although she may want, like, distance. To be fair, they're pretty far out in the country, and it might be well watered.
Yeah, it could be well water.
Ooh, we're getting all of the tea.
Sipping my tea.
We don't know whose baby that is, question mark?
Yep, it is either Alvin's, who we've already met, or another character which we will meet in the future. Because, as we all know, all conflicts in The Walking Dead have to get resolved by meeting the aforementioned parties. They can't just disappear off the face of the universe or anything like that.
Absolutely. Also, for your consideration, in case of zombie apocalypse, the copper IUD. It's good for like 12 years.
Yeah.
Supposed to be in here.
Also Peekaboo. Another poorly written character here, unfortunately.
Hi. Can you please help me? I'm not supposed to talk to you. My dad can't know.
You won't.
Help me, and I won't tell him.
I feel like a lot of these options thus far
Please help me.
have one that's like, change the subject randomly.
Yeah.
Like, what are you reading? Instead of addressing her
A
concerns.
dog bit me. Sounds scary. I bet it hurts. You want to see
Your
it?
dad didn't care, or do you want to see it?
Really
Right.
wasn't one of them. It really wasn't. Okay.
She
I mean, it's
you
still
so
gonna look
much
pretty
quicker.
dang nasty.
Ew.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I know, right? You have to bandage it like my dad does. Yeah, I know.
Oh, really?
Help me.
Shocking.
I need something to clean it up and something to wrap it with. A clean bandage. My dad says we're out of real bandages, but I know where to get something to clean it. That's with his supplies.
Can you
I'll help
go
you.
get it for me?
Good. Thank
She
you.
actually gets you the other thing you needed, which was the stuff to clean it with.
Shouldn't you be in bed? Like, seriously, one option out of most of these is like, change the entire
Yeah.
subject.
I haven't done another
The
thing
asshole
like
option,
this
basically.
before. It's hard to
Which, you know, like with the asshole run, you can play asshole Clementine or mute Clementine, where she only answers if she has to.
We are friends. Promise?
We're
It's
buddies.
important. Friends
I don't think I've
are
ever
friends.
done a mute Clementine run. That'd be kind of interesting to see what that would happen.
Huh.
Friends.
That would be really sad.
It would actually also be really funny too if like Clementine is really chummy with Kenny in season 1 and then like barely addresses him at all in season 2.
Right?
Swears forever.
It's like, man, you talk a lot less than you used to.
I'll see if if I can find the stuff my dad uses for
That's when they're like, alright, does anybody used to be a child psychologist before the world went to hell?
Is anybody else here living a secret double life that I should know about? Put your hand down, Ferb.
This is it. That'll work. You can't do it here, though. Someone will find you.
I got it. Don't worry about it.
I won't.
You got the handle.
Good old peroxide. Had to use that like a week ago. Had a really nasty ulcer, not just like on my lip or whatever, it was in the back of my throat.
Ooh.
Yeah, not fun. There's one more room up
done
here.
now? Oh, I still need bandages.
There's also one more room up here, and I believe that's the one with the watch. Might have the bandages as well, but definitely has the watch. Yeah, I think it's in that desk over there with the candles.
I think it's on the desk.
Could be on, could be in.
Oh, no. I would like it.
Yoink!
Those are the bandages. I think.
Yeah, bandages could be in here as well. I don't think anything is downstairs.
They're rags.
Not exactly bandages.
Rags against the
Help stop
machine.
bleeding.
Close enough. Alright, well,
They look clean. It's probably fine.
get back to the shed. I refuse.
Yeah.
I'm going to open everything else.
So apparently one other thing I've heard of, but I've never seen anybody do, is downstairs at the house meeting, you can like do this thing where you basically like peek in, and then like the bar will redden, or the screen will redden or orange around you, or whatever you want to call it, like you do with the danger.
Yeah.
And then you can like pull the door back closed so that the danger bar goes away. I believe it's there, but apparently you can actually get caught by Alvin, and if you say the right things, he'll also give you juice as well. And so he'll actively help you, apparently. But I'm not 100% sure on that, and if you don't want to try it, you don't have to.
I don't think I'm gonna try it. I don't know that I would be able to do that.
That is something I have been told, and that I've also seen on the wiki, but I've never tried it myself, nor have I watched anybody play the game that has also tried it, so.
Actually, you know what? We can go ahead and try it anyways. We'll just probably...
Yeah, if it well and truly is Alvin that, like, bumps into you, like, I feel like if he thinks he can get away with it without alerting the group, he would try to help you.
Okay, where's the meeting room?
I believe it's that one right there. Not that one, the other one. To the right. Or that one. No, maybe it is that one. It's hard to tell with the camera angles in this one. Yeah, it is this one. So yeah, when you eavesdrop, you like push open the door, and then they give you an option to back out by hitting the.
There's no way she's out here by herself.
She said she was with a friend and they got attacked.
Yeah, right.
Whoever she's with, they'll probably come looking for her.
Great. They show up and we've got her locked in the shed.
You think we should bring her in here?
No, I'm just saying it wouldn't look too good.
It's just a precautionary measure. Anyone else would do the same.
You really think Carver would come after us? You think he wouldn't?
Well, I was expecting the little like red to creep around, but it's not.
Happened. There's nothing we can do about it now.
Let him come. I really don't give a damn.
Alvin.
What? I don't.
Try again, just out of curiosity.
Leave her out there to die?
Better her than us.
You'd have done the same, Nick.
It wasn't the brightest idea. Oh, and firing your rifle was, huh? Next time we'll just put up a neon sign that says lurkers welcome.
Where you going, huh?
I want to get my sweater.
Uh-oh.
We'll be done in a minute.
Okay, maybe you can't. Weird.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and go, I guess.
Oh, well. Maybe I'll look that up later in my own time. That's one of the things that I've never checked on, though. Because, again, I don't care about Season 2 that much. Kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I know that's not something to keep viewers around, but, like, it's just not. And you'll see more of why as we continue with the writing here. Because we're still introducing characters, so Episode 1 kind of gets a free pass. I don't like the fact that outside of Clementine, pretty much everybody you know from Season 1 that's still alive just gets written out within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Be it dying or potentially dying / leaving / had to run, etc.
Do I have an option to patch up that board first?
No. Also, guess what? You'll be doing this by hand, and it's going to be fucking nasty.
This is gonna suck.
Yeah, this is gonna suck. You're right.
Also, the funny thing, and I think it is Alvin where you get the juice box, because if you get the juice box, Clementine can basically slam it kind of like a shot over and over. It's really funny. Yep, that is what it feels like on the cut, to be fair. It hurts like hell.
It's not the vibe. It's also spilling all over the floor. So I hope you don't need any more.
Yep, we got what we needed. It's fine.
Now the fun part.
Now the fun part.
If you're not into like gore and nasty shit like this, I suggest you look away. We will keep the audio on so that you will know when to return looking at the screen, because this is going to be bad in a second here.
Also, there is absolutely no way that she cut that fishing line with her teeth.
No.
There's no way.
Nope. Fishing line is designed not to break like that.
Just like last time? Jesus.
Well, just how to patch a wound in general, really.
Dislike.
Squeak. Not gonna lie, if I knew a 10, 11-year-old girl that could stitch themselves up like this, I would not ever fuck with them, because they're tough as nails.
Right?
Like, holy crap. Like, I know some adults that just the thought of having to do something like this, they would be like, nope, never.
Uh-huh.
I'd sooner die.
Uh-huh.
I mean, if I knew how and had to do it, I probably could, but I would not enjoy it.
See, and I feel like doing it yourself is infinitely worse than anyone else, because you also have to fight that, like, the basic self-preservation.
Yeah, the reflex.
instincts.
And if you're doing it like this, you've also only got one arm as well to work with instead of two.
Exactly.
Because your other is... You're trying to keep it as steady as you can, in theory.
Christa, you better be proud as shit of me.
Yeah, for real.
Like, by God. Also, shout out to the actress for giving everything she had into this scene.
Yeah.
Like, the VA, oh my God.
It almost makes you wonder, because it said, like, Christa showed me, if, like, because we know she miscarried, at least now.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me wonder if they, like, she just felt something was wrong. Like, after her water breaks, they had to do an emergency C-section, and then they had to patch her back up, or Clementine had to.
Good God.
Because she would have been the only other person there, so...
I guess. I mean, it's probably likely that they had other injuries in the time since then.
Yeah, also true.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Guess what's gonna happen? Kick. Kick. Pick left or right.
Ah.
Now the rake.
Switching back and forth and getting me. Ooh, we love that.
Yeah, give me a little poke. Oh, I'll grab the hammer off the ground.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yeah, I remember that one being kind of obnoxious where they don't really highlight it that well. I think when Steven and Mal played this, they died there as well.
Alright, let's try this again. Okay. We can do all this again. I got it. Okay.
After this, it'll be the hammer on the ground, just as a reminder.
I refuse to remember. Where is the hammer?
Oh, is it on the table?
And it's on the table.
My bad. And now it's time to hammer time.
That's the other thing too. They're a lot less forgiving with where your cursor is pointing.
Yeah.
Like in the last game, there were times that genuinely just like having your hand on, like having the cursor on the screen was enough.
Yeah, where you could be way outside of the technical window for it.
Can I please come inside?
I'm kind of disappointed you didn't go with Still Not Bitten.
Please.
I think that ends up being an achievement in one of the games, the Still Not Bitten, but I don't remember what it was for. It was in the original game, though, not the definitive edition.
Done anything to us.
I did. I took stuff, and I'm sorry. I really am.
And you think you can trust her?
God damn it, don't even start. Any of you would have done the same if you were half as tough as this little
Damn
girl.
straight.
I love how none of them could refute that either. They're like, yeah, you're right.
Look at her arm. Damn lurker sneaking around out here. We better get inside.
You hungry?
No.
I wonder if the game would even let you play an entirely silent Clementine run.
Well, not entirely, I would assume, because there's some stuff where you have to pick, where like silence literally is not an option given to you.
Her suturing skills need some work, but otherwise, I say she should be.
I'm gonna assume you were being sarcastic because she's 11, but still, fuck you.
If it was, the fever would have already set in, and her temperature would be through the roof.
That's fair.
Well, at least you got that part right, even if you can't tell a dog bite from a human bite.
Mm-hmm. We love the already blood-soaked bandages.
Yep.
I wish you wouldn't have done what.
The good news is since this is a video game, that arm is basically completely functional already.
What do you mean?
You manipulated my daughter.
I asked for her help.
She's not someone you can just ask for help.
Bro, what?
Well, how was I supposed to know that?
I'll
Don't be a
give you the
dick.
benefit of the doubt, but there are a few things you need to know about my daughter.
Okay.
She isn't like you. You may not get that initially, but once you're around her for a while, you'll understand.
Yeah, she's got her head in a book.
She knew how bad the world is.
Well, no,
There's
more than
really
that.
out
Like,
there, she would cease to function. She's my little girl. She's all I have left.
She's
and
very
I would ask that you stay away
protected.
from her.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing.
well, it kind of is though, because like, if something were to happen to Carlos, which spoiler alert, it does.
I don't care,
But
it
like,
makes a
she
great
has to
deal.
be like. That's the whole reason Clementine's still alive is because Lee taught her how to shoot a gun. Lee taught her like to keep her hair short. Lee taught her the importance of
Stay
making a
away
plan,
from
like
my
all this
daughter.
stuff.
Mm-hmm. You gotta
And
be
Carlos
nice.
has the capacity to do that, even if it only has to be like bit by bit, like really small steps. It's better than just going to be like, well, I'm just going to always be around to protect her. And it's like, you can't know that.
Exactly.
Like, I know that's a shit thing to say, but... And
Well,
also,
but if
even if
anything,
it
we
really
should've
is...
proved it.
Yeah, and also if it really is true, that means like... And I do think that genuinely he would be willing to die for his daughter, but if he does do that, then she's left alone, not sheltered by him anymore because he's dead. So, like...
What?
Nothing.
They almost, like, Sarah and Clementine almost act like a foil to each other in that way, because you get to see the actions and consequences of two kids that are roughly, Sarah's a little bit older, but roughly the same age, and how one is sheltered and how they handle things versus how one is not and how they handle
I just want to
things.
say I'm sorry.
It's also ironic because she got bit on the same arm,
That
on
kinda
the same
aggro.
place as
That
Lee.
was definitely not cool.
It was
Nick's
kind of
been known to go
aggro.
off every once in a while. Don't hold
That
it
scar
against
is still
him.
there in later
Just
seasons,
real
by the
hard
way.
moments. You definitely had one out there.
You were just protecting your friends. I get it.
Well, I didn't mean to be so harsh. I just... we had a
I
bad
feel
experience once.
It'd be like
I mean, that's fair, yeah.
What happened?
I will say, as much as he can be a dick sometimes, at least whenever he's in the wrong, he does apologize.
It was my fault. It was no one's fault.
How would you think you
thought
could
we could
control it?
control it, but we couldn't.
Man,
And then she turned, and his mom was standing right there, and she got attacked.
sorry, Nick's
There
mom.
was nothing we could do about it. Anyway, hopefully you understand.
I feel ya. I can dig it.
I do.
I
Yeah.
guess. We should also have sulky teenager run of Clementine.
Yeah.
Sulky preteen run.
Fittingly enough, I think he's actually younger than both of us. I think he's like 22.
Oof.
So,
I think. I could be wrong about that. He's definitely younger than me, for sure. He might be 23 or 4, but I know he's not 27.
I don't know. I'm kind of on my own now.
well, you're welcome to stay
Unfortunately,
here.
he's kind of one of the characters that's
Make
written
yourself
pretty
feel up.
weakly outside of
Make
this
some
first
friends, sort
episode.
things
He's
out.
basically like a weaker written Kenny.
Do you think everyone else will be okay with it?
They'll just have to deal with it.
I'll just have to deal.
I will say, Luke is probably one of the few characters in Season 2 that actually, I think he is written largely pretty well.
I genuinely like Luke.
I do like Luke a lot.
Mind me asking. I mean, I assume what happened to them is what happened to just about everyone's parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot of those around these days.
Didn't think you could have made it on your own for so long, but maybe you did.
They died.
That's tough.
At the very beginning.
I lost my folks too. Hey, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have asked.
You're darn, dude.
Honestly, I feel like at least at this point in the series, it's a badge that almost everybody has. Pretty much everybody has lost at least one parent, if not both.
Parent or parent figure.
Yeah.
We went to Savannah to find them.
I think they even kind of reference that later on of like, yeah, I lost my friends and family, and everybody usually just responds with like, well, yeah, every one of us has.
Mm-hmm.
It's like dick response, but yeah, true.
This man found me and took care of me. We met up with other survivors and we all tried to make it. But it didn't work.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. And a little bit of Lily, but mostly Ben.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it was all Ben's fault, but it was at least 20%.
He's the reason I keep my hair short.
Maybe not the majority, but like a chance of the plurality.
The same thing that happens to everyone. But he saved me first. Lots of times.
Well, sounds like he was a real good guy.
He was. I miss Lee.
He was the best. Yeah.
He is my second favorite character in this entire series, with my favorite being Clementine, obviously.
I hate to interrupt, but I'm out there standing watch, and I can't help but notice this place is lit up like a goddamn beacon in the middle of the woods.
Yeah, it's time to turn in anyways.
Now get your winks while you can, because we're going fishing.
Luckily, we had a
Like
shitload of
couple
candles.
fresh brookies for dinner. Wouldn't that be nice?
I do not understand. Small smiles. Do I forgive Luke for dropping me on my ass?
Oh.
I mean, he panicked. It wasn't actively malicious. He just kind of panicked.
That's fair. We got Miss Angry Eyebrows.
She's probably the only other cabin survivor I'd say is really well written. Mostly because of later chapters. Like, she is meant to be hated early on.
I'm just gonna stay quiet. I don't feel like asking her whose baby it is.
I'm not gonna lie, I did that in my playthrough. I went for the jugular with this woman because, like, she was just nothing but rude to me. So I was like, fucking, let's just go for it.
Square up, bitch.
I think Mal did the same thing whenever she and Steven were playing because I think this was her episode. And I think she went for it.
This is pretty. I love these shots. I love the art style. I'm obsessed with it.
I will say, like, now that we're playing, like, specifically this episode, as much as we dumped on Season 2, I do think largely this opener is pretty good. I don't like the, let's just fucking kill off Omid in the first 5 minutes,
She was in a mood last
but
night,
largely
for sure.
positive.
Yeah. The first
How
5
far are
minutes.
these
Was...
fish traps?
It ain't much further.
How are you gonna fish with a gun?
Anyone teach you?
Well, if you know how to shoot.
By that I mean.
Even though it is
proper.
actually really hard to get a bullet to go
Any
with fast enough
evil
capacity
thing
to water
shoot.
resistance.
My friend Lee taught me.
That's good.
That's actually what they recommend you do if you get shot at by somebody is to jump in the water. Because the bullets can only inflict, like, truly lethal damage within, like,
Was about
2-3
your
feet.
age. First
Water
time I took 'em
resistance
hunting.
really kills them.
Came across this beautiful 13-point buck just standing there on the ridge line. The boy takes the rifle, he lines up the shot just like I taught him, and then I hear him start whining. He turns to me and he says, I can't do it. I can't shoot it, Uncle Pete. Please don't make me
What a
shoot it."
baby.
What a baby.
What a baby.
Oh, bitch baby.
Hey,
Bitch, I shot my father
What are
for
you
you
waiting-
going at me.
You want us standing around while you piss on a tree? You know where the river is, boy. Anyway, so I grabbed the gun out of his hand before the big buck runs off, when bang, the gun fires. Boy nearly gut shot me. And of course, the buck gets away.
what are you going and telling her this shit for?
Because it's funny.
Because you almost blew her face off yesterday. Seems relevant. Trying to let her know it's personal.
I love that he is not gonna take.
Vengeance.
I love that he's not gonna take Nick's shit, and he already like respects Clementine more than he does Nick.
Okay, well I didn't know that.
Let's just get to the river.
You're always trying to embarrass me.
You're doing a good enough job of that on your own.
Can I help either one of you?
Leaving us again.
I know where the fucking river is.
Also notice that whenever y'all were all standing there in a
So
group,
anyway,
he
I
was
found
the
that
only
buck
one
later
that
season.
had
Shot it right in the neck.
his
Brought
rifle
it up to
pointing
my
towards the
sister's
ground.
figuring she'd want
Yep.
to freeze some of the meat. Nick
As you were supposed to do.
for weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you gotta play a role, even if it means people you love hate you for it.
See, and that's one thing that I appreciate is that
He doesn't hate you.
Nick's father wasn't there much. and
that's
he was
one
a
thing that
piece
I
of shit
appreciate
when he was.
about this
So it
show
fell to
is
me
that
to
the
keep him in
people
line,
that aren't
raise him
following
right.
proper gun
Meant I
safety,
couldn't just be nice.
typically it's a part of their character. Like,
Yeah.
it's not for no reason. They're not just
Yeah.
waving guns around for giggles.
Nick! Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
Oh. Zombies? Humans? Poke poke.
Ah, full of holes.
Who do you think?
Pete is an ostrich, confirmed.
Not sure yet, but it ain't your average gang of thugs, that much I know.
Think about it. You're Carver, what do you do?
Who's Carver?
He's a butcher. Why?
Check those guys there.
I mean, he's both of those things,
Be
really.
careful.
Yeah.
Some of them might still be moving.
Why does Clementine not have a weapon?
She has the hammer.
Oh, does she still?
Yep.
Okay. She should have it out in hand.
Yeah, so looking at one of these bodies, it'll be a little hard to tell based on
What's this doing here?
the way that they're positioned. But do you remember from the DLC Norman in Shell's story from 400 Days?
Sure.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh my god. Well,
He was the guy that like found
too.
the guy that didn't speak English. And he's like, yeah, we can either kill this guy or let him go, and you're the swing
Yeah.
vote. Yeah,
Ah.
that's him.
Check the rest. And look for ammo. We're running low.
And I can't search his pockets, I guess.
No, I think you're just like looking at walkers at this point until something triggers. I think I could be wrong.
I don't think I can walk any farther this way.
Nope, doesn't look like it.
We love that.
For now, it is just interact with whatever you find that you can interact with. Can you talk to Pete, Nick at all?
Yes. I can talk to each of them, I think.
What can I do?
See if you can find anything else.
Like what?
Like what might tell us who did this.
Yes, I will find a handwritten note.
It was me!
Detailing culpability.
Can I help?
I got it.
Well,
Oh, there might be something like that's on that island in the river that says like go to this, maybe? Like across the way right there, is there anything you can interact with where it's like, yeah, go to this location? Because that's where you end up going, is across the river.
I don't. There's nothing that I can click on. I don't see it. Because, like, there's just the palette.
Yeah, you don't interact with the palette.
Yeah.
Try talking to them again, maybe?
Is he shot too?
Yeah. These fellas got lit up something good.
Yeah, see, I genuinely can't go any farther that way.
Yeah, I don't think it's a matter of moving, like, where you're off screen. There's just got to be something you can interact with that it's not.
Because I think it would be jumping across this rock right here, but I can't.
It might be farther. It might be actually clicking on the island and it will say something like go to island. Maybe.
Look at sandbar.
That could be it.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's more of them out there. Yeah.
This wasn't no rinky-dink pissing match.
Rinky-dink pissing match.
Foobar.
Foobar.
Where are you going? We need to get
Fucked
the
up
fuck
beyond
out
all
of here.
recognition.
Gotta
It's a military thing.
What? Why?
Calm down and think about it, son.
Calm down. We gotta get out of here now.
Jesus Christ, get a hold of yourself.
Shouldn't we go get the others?
Wish we could. But one of these folks might still be alive, and they just might be inclined to tell us who did this.
You also just
we
might
gotta
be
do this
inclined
now. Stay here.
to not
Keep
have a
searching
brain
these.
cell.
This is a dumb idea.
You know, Nick, I don't like this either. But sooner or later, you're gonna have to realize a simple
You
truth.
haven't checked to make sure that
What,
all
that
of
you're
these
an
are
asshole?
actually proper
That
dead.
nobody in this world is ever gonna give a goddamn whether you like something or not. You gotta grow up, son.
Whatever.
Come on, Clem. You want to be useful? Keep a lookout on that tree line. Whoever did this might still be out there, waiting for another sucker to stumble across this mess.
I'd be more useful with a gun.
I don't doubt it.
At some point, you guys have to trust me.
Hell, I trust you. But not everyone's at that point yet. Give them time. Look, just keep your head on straight. Same deal. All shot to pieces. Hope this isn't anyone you know.
No.
Nope.
Good.
Squish.
Squish, squish.
Damn it. More on that side. You check out these ones. See if there's anything on them that'll tell us who they were.
This does not go well.
Look at body. That fucking face.
Love that.
There's one specific one you have to check, I think.
I'm assuming it's that one.
Yeah, it probably is that one. Yeah, looks like it.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
He's still alive. Like, actually alive, not zombie alive.
Not for long.
Do I know you?
And
You
no,
were
he's
in
dead.
the woods with Christa.
Nope. Still
The
alive.
woman I was with. What happened to her? Please, tell me. Tell me.
Please.
It's gonna choke, but like, you know.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, that is widely considered by many people to be one of the least consequential decisions that you can make in the entire series.
Pete!
Because
Fine.
presumably you give
Fine.
him water
Just
to like get
my
info
footing.
out of him, but no, he dies. And if you don't give him the water, he still dies, and you don't keep the water for anything else later on. So it literally has no purpose at all.
Workers! I'm out of ammo! Come this way!
Well,
Bitch.
Damn it! You get your asses over here, both of
I'll
you!
cover you.
Now, who do you go
We gotta
with?
get out of here!
Do you go with
Get
Pete,
over
or do
here,
you go with
goddammit!
Nick?
Can't you listen to me
he's
once?
been bit.
Just one time? I've got ammo.
Listen!
I'm sorry.
Nick! Pete!
I feel like these go a lot faster.
Probably do. They just stand there and stare at each other.
Oh my god.
Me? I didn't have a gun.
He was already bit.
Yeah, he was also already bit. That's something you can bring up to him in the next episode.
Could we have saved him?
So the thing is, if you go with Pete, he doesn't die right then and there. He'll still turn into a walker. You basically get confined with Nick in the shed later on because you're waiting for the walkers to thin out. And so you have like a little bit of dialogue with him. If you chose Pete, it's basically the same thing. The only difference is Pete will not survive no matter what you do, and Luke will always survive. Or sorry, Nick will always survive no matter what you do. So the end result is the same. It's just who you get to talk with a little bit more in that scene, be it Nick or Pete.
I can't keep going.
I figure we got about 4.
Which I think feels like it makes it a weaker choice than Carly Doug because you can save both of them.
Yeah.
Or either of them, rather. Mm-hmm. You cannot save Pete.
Yeah.
I thought you were
Which is a
dead.
shame. Because I really wish you could save Pete. I wanted to know more about him, and even because I did choose Pete the first time, because I was like, well, maybe we can get him back to the house, amputate his leg or something, I don't know.
Alright, so 58.7% of players tried to save Christa. 52.5% of players mercy killed the dog. 51.1% of players accepted Nick's apology. 43.2% of players gave water to the dying man. Dude, what's wrong with the rest of y'all?
I mean, I didn't give him the water.
What's wrong with you? Did you save Nick or Pete? About 40% of players went with Nick. So I mean, that's
even
fair.
though the fact that Pete was bit, people still preferred him over Nick.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And you know what? I very seriously considered going with Pete, but also he was bit, and that sucks. But at least this way, we shot him, didn't we?
No.
Damn it.
Because Nick's gun jammed. He was just gunning down the zombies. He didn't think about it. So.
Oh, damn it.
From what I remember, it was a higher majority tried to help save Christa because why wouldn't you?
Exactly.
Yes, she was being a dick, but she also miscarried a child. Her husband / boyfriend is now dead, etc.
Lost everyone, yeah.
Yeah. To kill the dog, again, I think most people picked yes for the obvious reason of Mercy killing it. Accepting Nick's apology, I think most people did. It wasn't as high of a majority as the first two, but you're presuming that you're going to be with this group for a long time, so why would you intentionally let bad blood occur? With Rebecca, it's a little bit more... people are a little bit less, little bit less okay with that, but Nick genuinely did try to apologize for being an idiot, and he
Pregnant
did.
women are terrifying.
Yep, that too. Water the Dying Man. I think that was pretty even from what I remember, but like I said, it literally makes no difference in your choice. Basically, you either get the line of dialogue, "Thank you for doing that," or you get the line of "Please" if you don't, and that's pretty much the only thing it affects. You never find out the you have the conclusion implied, but you don't find any information from him for doing the right thing. You don't keep the water for doing the air quote wrong thing. So one of the weakest choices they've given. And then for Nick or Pete, I think, I'm pretty sure the majority, I think it was a 25-75 split in Pete's favor from what I remember. Because he was just seemed like a smarter person. And even being bit, figured well, maybe there's a way we can get his leg amputated, get him back, something like that. But as we'll find out, illusion of choice.
Yeah. Alrighty. Oh,
yeah, it's gonna roll credits now.
Okay. This is so pretty!
Yeah.
Look at this! I want to frame this on my wall.
Yeah, you probably could.
This is incredible.
So let's see, who do we lose in order? Starting with Omid. I'm not going to count the girl that shot Omid, because she's not an important character. She literally just existed to kill Omid, which is stupid.
That whole thing was... See, they didn't even need to bring him back on screen if they're just going to kill him.
Yeah, they did him really fucking dirty. And the fact, I'm not saying I advocate for shooting Christa, but in Season 1, you spend more time with Christa than you do Omid. Because Omid's out for all of Chapter 4, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because he's got his messed up leg. And so, you get more of Christa in that season, so we're kind of hoping you get more of Omid. I get the whole thing of, oh yeah, he's, the nice character, he's the comic relief, whatever. And as a result, there's no way he could survive.
Well, his leg was still pretty messed up by the end of the episode, so you could easily say, yeah, his leg just didn't heal right, it got infected, and he died.
Yeah, something like that. And, like, ultimately, as you find out, of course, is because Christa is gone as well, whether you distract the guys or not. She just gets left as unknown status, I'm pretty sure, for the entirety of the season. I don't think it's ever confirmed if she dies. But, like, that was their whole point of, like, we're just going to kick out all the Season 1 characters that are still left, which is only 2, but still. And so, as a result, it was like, well, if we've got to outright kill one of them, I guess it's going to be Omid. Because, you know, as possible as it would be a lot harder to say, yeah, we'll just kill the pregnant woman, that's fine. No one will have a problem with that. So regardless, if one of them has to outright die, I mean, you're going to get backlash for that either way.
Exactly.
As for Christa leaving, I feel like if they're going to make the decision to ditch them both, that was a good enough way for it to happen, to be implied. I think the time jump was a good idea,
and that
because
was
it
a
makes Clem
realistic
older.
One.
Yeah,
the time jump was a great idea, but it felt more realistic for Christa than it did for Omid.
Yeah. It would have been nice to see a little bit more of, like, how she's changed. You only get, like, a brief glimpse of it. Because obviously it's affected her, and she's a lot more hardened. She acts a lot more like she did when you first meet her as Lee, where she, like, refuses to go with any groups and whatnot. So you kind of see her retreat back into her original shell, but not that much. Sam, I mean, yeah, dead dog, sad.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Still not bitten team. Nice. Good idea for, like, not even an antagonist, but just, like, a little leap in logic, but still reasonable to believe, like, yes, somebody did keep their dog alive, or a family did, and the dog managed to survive while everybody else died. Believable, dog goes feral / wild, so that works for me. Small way to have Clementine injured. Sure, go for it. And that just leaves Pete, which, again, I really was hoping we'd at least get one more chapter out of him, but...
Sorry.
Well, no, like, even if you go with him, you only get, like, a little tiny bit. Like, it's very small. Which is a damn shame, because, again, he seemed, of all the people, including the doctor that can't tell a dog bite from a human, easily the smartest one.
Well, and he was standing there telling them, watch out for the walkers. They might still be alive. Be prepared for them to come out at you. Like, he was telling us, hey, be on the lookout for this. And he's the one that gets turned around and done.
Yeah, it felt like it was just a way to write him off. And I think that's probably, now that I'm thinking about it more, that's probably the biggest sin for all, in particular the Season 2 characters that go, is it doesn't feel like a reasonable / like, complete way to write somebody off. And I think that's why people don't like how Katja dies in Season 1, is because it doesn't feel like a complete way to write her off. If she had been showing, like, more tendencies of, like, yeah, without my family I would just absolutely lose it,
well, or
it would be a little bit more...
After Duck was bitten, whenever Duck was sick, if you had gone to try to talk to her and she just kept saying to Duck something, like, sweet and comforting, but also ominous, like, don't worry, we'll be okay soon, or don't worry, Mama will make it okay, Mama won't leave you, you know, something like that is more foreshadowing and semi-ominous, but not ominous enough that, like, you expect it.
The only line you get from her that's even remotely close to that is right before you go to put him down, where she says, I love our son more than life itself.
Exactly.
That's the only line that... Because of the two, whenever Duck is being bitten and starting to turn... At least from what appearances are, which aren't everything, yes, but she's in a way better mental state than Kenny is on paper.
And that is one of those things that's really weird about writing suicide in any genre, but specifically in survival type situations, is that I feel like a lot of people don't... I mean, anytime you're talking about suicide in any kind of media, people don't properly research what it would look like in these different circumstances, and they don't talk to psychologists, they don't talk to people and see what kind of warning signs they can show whenever they don't have the typical stuff like that.
And it's also harder to do if it's not your main character, because you're not in Katja's head, you're in Lee's head. Or in this case, you're in Clementine's head, you're not in Katja's head, so it's definitely harder, but I think that is one of the big problems that we'll see for Season 2 continuing on. And I think most of the characters that have a better end, unfortunately, don't last very long. There's one in Season 2 that I think does have a fitting end, like, great character, great story, but that's also why I wanted them around for longer, and that's why I wish there were more characters where it's like, wow, I wish these guys were around for longer. Because a lot of them aren't. At the very least, the majority of them aren't. And so it's just like, I'm not left wanting more at all. It's just like, well, we'll just leave it there, sure. Just leave it on the cutting board.
Well, and it's really hard to have, because I mean, that's the thing too, that was my issue with Fear the Walking Dead, is you had some great and fantastic characters, but it doesn't fit the theme of the show, which is that humans suck.
Yep, the humans are in many ways worse than the walkers are.
And so they can't survive, because then what's the point of the show saying humans suck? Like,
yeah. So, we will end right here, and then we will continue with episode 2, which is this guy holding binoculars, also known as a house divided.
Woohoo.
Very excited about holding those binoculars. I think he's actually the same voice actor as Omid, which is another thing that pisses me off, because it's not a case of like, oh, well, we couldn't spare the voice actor for more than this, because he's fucking right here.
I mean, yeah, he's right there.
It's literally the Total Drama All-Stars problem of like, why did they not bring back Harold? It's like, oh, we wanted to bring back Sam. It's like, but you're having, like, Sam and Harold are the same voice actor. You could put Harold in there, and he would fit better. It would be a better match, but because of whatever reason, they just decided no.
And you could even have both of them, because most VAs have different voices for their different characters, so you can have both.
And he basically just sounds like Redneck Omid almost. Like, it's done well, but like, you wouldn't know that they're the same character unless you looked it up or like saw the credits and be like, oh yeah, that is the same guy.
Exactly.
Alright, so we will start chapter 2 shortly.
Alright.